Hey, good evening, Scope fam. This is Kelly Ramsey with Developing People, and you can reach out to me on Facebook at Developing People or Kelly Ramsey, either place. But I wanted to get on here for Evening Scope and just to tell you to obey God. And this is really, really heavy in my spirit. So I had so many names that came up as God was downloading this to me on my way to teach tonight. Hi, welcome. Let me know where you're from and what your name is. But I had so many names that came up as God was downloading this to me, so I wanted to share it abroad with everyone. Hey, Shauna, for you not to give up. Like, God has given you a charge, and take this personally. If you're tuning in now or if you're watching the replay, this message is for you. And so God has given you a charge because he's given you. Hi, Cheryl from Birmingham, Alabama. Great to see you. Are you with Ebony L. Trust? Are you, she's going to be in Birmingham, so you need to meet her and get there. So sorry, I digress. But God has given you a charge. And the charge that he's given you is your dream, your vision, the project that he told you to do, how he told you to do it. And you have to put feet to your vision and get some action and do it. And this is how important it is. So as I was driving to class tonight to teach, it just dropped down in my spirit after hearing Victory with one of my sisters who's moving into exactly what God told her she would have. And it just welled up in my spirit, not to give up. When you get so close to almost fulfilling, yay, good, you're going to go there. Give her a hug for me because I won't be there. I'll be in DC, but give her a big hug from Kelly until I'm going to meet her somewhere so we can connect. But when God gives you an unction to do something, he puts it in your mind. He puts an idea, a dream, a package, whatever it is, someone that you need to call and reach out. Don't hesitate. When you hesitate, this is what happens. One, there's someone waiting on that. There's someone waiting on you to deliver what God has placed inside of you. And the difference is it's life or death. So literally, people are waiting for what he has placed in us. And when we don't move in it, their lives suffer. And I know that's pretty heavy to say, but that's how heavy he gave it to me. So I'm giving it to you just how he gave it. We can no longer hesitate. For whatever reason, if you've hesitated or pondered, like, I don't know if I should do this. Yes, you should do it. If God has pressed it on you and called you to do a work, get busy and do the work. When you start moving out in it and walking into it, he will meet you there and lives will be changed. Literally, lives will be changed. I'm an adjunct professor and I teach at a few colleges. But lately, my students from the past 2-3 years have been coming back and I was obedient. And so in my classes, not all the time is it a Christian platform, but every time I obey God. And so he tells me to give a prophetic word, to share. I do it. I don't get up on a podium and say, I'm going to give you a prophetic word. I just said, I wanted to share something with you, and I hope it speaks life into your life. And I prophesy to them. And I tell them exactly what God has said. And so I've gotten testimonies back that people literally have held on to that prophecy because that's all that they had to hold on to. And so what if I hadn't obeyed? What if I hadn't said what God said? What if I hadn't given them that moment of hope? They could have fainted. They could have died. They could have taken their life. They could have jeopardized what God was doing, but that's all that they had. One lady said, I wrote it down. She says, and I keep it in my binder, in my planner. And every time it would get rough, I would look at it and I would remind myself of what God said through you. And she said, and today I have exactly what God said. And she was living in a blessing place. She is whole and restored. Her children were restored to her home. Her family was restored, all because of one word of obedience. God said, speak it, and I spoke it, and look what happened. And so she didn't come back immediately, but when she had a time, and when she had a moment, she came back to say thank you for your obedience. So I'm telling you, there are people who are hanging on to their last thread. They need your dream. They need your idea. They need you to talk to them. They need you to take the time to take them to the grocery store, to let them ride in your car, just to have the one-on-one talk time so that their lives can be changed and saved. So whatever you are struggling through today, know that God is with you. And know that God, if he gave it to you, he will make provision for it to come to pass. I am a witness to that, to that place. 17 years ago, I came here to Oklahoma. I had nothing. Literally, I had nothing. And then I got here and I got divorced. First time in my entire family, anyone had been divorced. It was a lot. But what God did, he didn't let my heart die. He didn't let my heart close. He sent my apostles, Ricky and DeAndrea Thomas, and their girls, Margaret and Mariah, who poured love into my heart, who saved my life. And so because they poured love into me in that moment, in that downtime, I got the heart of God. I didn't get a hard and callous heart from my experience, but I got the love of God and the heart of God. And then I was able to restore my husband that I have now because of that heart. And it was only because of him. And because of that, my children came forth. They would not even exist had I stayed stuck, had I stayed bitter, had I not pressed through and did what I need to do. So I admonish you tonight, trust God, obey what he has told you to do, because it is so worth it. And so I'm going to be sharing this Periscope with the people God brought to my mind just as an encouragement for them. But that you matter and the work that you do matters. So don't give up. And the other last part of it, I talked about this morning. Be authentically you. Only you can deliver the message to the people that you are supposed to touch. Don't perpetrate someone else. Don't try and put it in another form. Don't try and make it all pretty and clean and pristine. If you're rough, be rough. And because there's somebody that needs it rough. If you're refined, be refined, because there's someone that needs that. If you're silly and goofy and people are like, no, you need to be more serious. No, be who you are. Be authentically you and do the work that God has at your hand. I love you all. I bless you. I pray over you tonight that you would sleep well and rest well, and that God would download into you the next phase of your work and your life, and then get busy and get doing it. And so I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what you're doing. I would love to hear how God is pouring out in your life. Connect with us on Developing People in the We Connect community and the Launchpad. We'll be there and we'll help to support your vision to bring it to pass. So bless you. I love you. And have a good evening. Bye-bye.